Welcome to the Horror Hangout, a podcast where film fans watch the best and worst horror movies of all time and talk about them. Today's episode is a bonus episode chatting all about a new supernatural horror mystery film. My name is Ben Errington, and today I'm joined by a very special guest. Sarah Durn is the star of Shelby Oaks, which releases on the 25th of October in the US and the 31st of October in the UK. I think it's the 24th, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
close.
Oh, one day incorrect. Close. It's close enough. It will be in cinemas on the 25th. You
There you
just
go.
you
Yeah.
just be a
You're
day
just,
late. Everybody else would have seen
yeah.
it before. Welcome to the show, Sarah. Hello.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me, Ben.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure. Congratulations on Shelby Oaks.
Thank you. I know we're pretty pumped about it.
You should be pumped. I feel like it's one of those things everybody is talking about. Now, you may feel like that because you're in the film and because everyone close to you probably is talking about it, but I genuinely feel like everybody is talking about it right now.
Wow, that's amazing. I feel like coming from like people who are really in the horror space, especially because I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I kind of don't believe people when they're like, it's a big deal. I'm like, yeah, is it?
Yeah, it's a huge
It's
deal. I feel like
crazy.
it's really ramped up. Like obviously as it gets closer to the release, of course, but
Yeah.
it's ramped up hugely.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just insane how this movie is like grown from what it was to what it is now.
Yeah, of course. I'll give our audiences a little bit of information on the film. So the tagline is "Who took Riley Brennan?" A woman's desperate search for her long lost sister falls into obsession upon realizing that the imaginary demon from their childhood may have been real. How spooky.
Very
Very
spooky.
spooky, yeah. I guess
Yeah.
it kind of like it falls into it's like got true crime elements as well, hasn't it? So I guess that's another reason why it's so big. Everybody's talking about it at the moment. But
Yeah.
the marketing as well, it reminds me of the kind of thing where, with the Blair Witch Project in the late 90s, everybody kind of thought the marketing for it was real.
Yeah.
And I guess that's
Yeah.
kind of what's happening now, isn't it?
Yeah. It's really fun. I mean, it's like if you haven't checked out who took RileyBrennan.com, it's so or what happened. It's either who took or what happened to Riley Brennan. And they have this whole like 2008 website with like all the videos
Oh,
and like
okay. I've not
the
seen that.
episodes.
Oh my
It's worth
God.
checking out. It's like really, yeah, it's really cool. I was so excited when I saw that because I was like, this is so fun. Like Neon's really like embracing because that was like a seed of the project back in the day. Like Aaron B. Coons, who's one of the producers on that,
Hmm.
was really excited about kind of creating this alternative reality game and kind of doing something similar to like Cloverfield or Blair Witch. Um, but it's fun to see like Neon continue that. And I think it's
Hmm.
something they were excited about too.
Absolutely. But how does it feel to see your face on all these things? Because it must be quite strange because it's almost like missing posters and these weird,
Yeah.
ominous photos where you're like, it must be crazy.
Yeah, no, I it's wild. We were just in LA for the premiere and there's a billboard with my face on it. And that's just something I never even imagined in the realm of possibility for me and my career. And I
I
don't know. It's just like it's so crazy that I can't even really fathom it. And I just feel like it's happening to me and I'm just trying to be present, but it's like so unfathomable that I kind of still think it's all a fever dream, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's
I mean, I
not.
can't, I can't even begin to imagine that. So I'm not gonna. When I say yeah, I'm not saying I know how you feel. I definitely don't know how you feel. Massive billboard. Oh yeah, because the billboard's just your face, and then what happened to Riley Brennan is on it, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of the posters, I mean, it's like my face, but it's like overexposed version of
Yeah,
my
yeah, of
face.
course.
So those feel like, it's me, but it's not. Like you wouldn't really like my friends know it's me, but like other than that, no one's
Hmm.
gonna be like, "Oh, I saw your face in the theater." But
You never know.
now they're rolling out some stuff that's like more just my face, and I'm like, this is so crazy.
Yeah, that must be crazy. I mean, to be fair, the marketing, all the film posters are great because they kind of like have this throwback kind of like some of the white posters with just your face and the "What Happened to Riley Brennan" tagline look a bit like Last
Yeah.
House on the Left, like these kind of
Yeah.
old school kind of obviously the Wes Craven movie.
Yeah.
And what happens with the billboard with the hail? is it Tarion? It is Tarion.
Yeah, Tarian. Yeah, you got
That
it.
happens at night,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so the billboard is my face, and it just says like who took Riley Brennan, and then at night or like around sunset, it shifts, and
Yeah.
there's this creepy pagan symbol,
This
and
is
it says "Hail Tarian" over my face.
this is gonna freak a lot of people out. I reckon in LA, people are gonna be all about conspiracy theories and the Illuminati anyway. They're gonna see this on a
Yeah,
billboard. You're gonna be tarred with the same brush as as who knows what soon.
I know. It's we'll see. They're
And you're
like, "Is this girl okay?"
and you're
There's
and I'm
also
sure,
nothing about the movie on it, so it's like
yeah.
just a missing person, and you're
Ah,
like,
I love that though.
yeah,
I do love that though because I
it's
feel like
fun."
that's the best marketing there. When you don't know anything and you go into a film, that is hugely exciting. How did you get involved with the project? I'm assuming you weren't involved from the very start with the Kickstarter and everything like that. You came in at a later date.
I didn't actually. I was among the first people cast in the
Okay.
movie.
Hmm.
And when I was cast in 2020, and it was just a crazy thing. 2020, it was a weird time in to be an actor. Everything was like
I
COVID
bet.
protocol. You were wearing masks. And at the time when I auditioned, it was for a proof of concept. So it wasn't even
Ah,
clear like really what it was. And there was like talks of like creating material to then present within a Kickstarter campaign. But yeah, when I came on, it was really early in the process. Uh, Chris met Aaron B. Kuntz, who's part of Paper Street Productions, this poor production house based in Austin. Um, and like a couple months later, I was cast.
wow. So super early on then.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that's super exciting. And obviously, the Kickstarter campaign was amazing. It made the most money a Kickstarter campaign has ever made, which is obviously
Yeah.
impressive. Impressive in itself, but I guess also for a film to sort of be made in that way is kind of interesting for
Yeah.
the industry, I guess, as well.
Yeah. No, definitely. It's been the Kickstarter was this amazing moment. Like it started out just to backtrack even a little bit, just because it's a fun thing to contemplate.
Mm.
Like when Chris first brought I was cast, and then the other like paranormal paranoid, the sort of Scooby Doo gang, were also cast,
Yeah.
and we went and shot these episodes on a 2008 camcorder, and
Amazing.
it was just Chris Stuckmann, the director and writer of the film, and us walking around in the woods, and like that was the whole crew, which is very
Amazing.
small.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then he's like talking, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna put these episodes together. He like edited these episodes on his old like 2008 MacBook and
Still
put them
going.
on YouTube. It's still like chugging along. He's stuck them up on YouTube, and then that became some of the Kickstarter material. And like,
Mm.
so then when the Kickstarter started happening, I think the initial goal was like 200,000, and then it was like they met that goal in a day. And this is my first time ever also being a part of a Kickstarter campaign, like a film that's going through this process. So I was like, maybe this is what always happens. Like I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
not really sure. Um
200,000 in a
and
day. It's all right, I
yeah, right.
suppose.
It's fine. That seems pretty good. We'll go make the movie now. And then they kind of moved the goalposts, and then it was like over 1 million. And it was just
Crazy.
that was crazy. And then what Aaron and Chris did to like involve people in the process, there was all these like behind the scenes elements. Like Chris really was adamant to try and give people material to really explain how a movie is made. Because there's lots of film directors out there who are like, your phone's a camera, like go be free and
Yeah.
make your movie. But that doesn't really work. Like
Yeah.
there's such a
Doesn't
big
always
step from
translate.
like yeah. So I think they were really hoping with the Kickstarter to really make it beneficial to everyone who backed the film, and it was really fun. And like I joined the Discord channel. There was a whole like Discord
Oh,
channel with
yeah.
all the
Yeah, of course.
yeah, where Aaron was answering questions, this like producer, and people could ask like questions about how a movie gets made,
Mm.
and it was really really cool to kind of be like a fly in the wall in those rooms.
Yeah, I bet. Because obviously Chris Stuckman is his first feature
Yeah.
directorial gig, isn't it? So that's obviously the whole process, I guess, from Kickstarter, from him being a first time director, it's all kind of brand new, I guess,
Yeah.
for everybody involved as well. But yeah, I think he's done a great job, and he's the writer as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Of the
Yeah. He started writing it. The idea came about from him and his wife, or I think they weren't even married then, potentially, but they were going and filming this. Like, I think they were watching like horror movies that take place in a cabin in a cabin.
cabin within
And
a
they like just,
cabin, cabin Inception.
yeah. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
nowhere creepier than watch a cabin horror flick in a cabin in the middle of the woods.
My God. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine.
Yeah. And they just started like being like, let's finally make this movie. And then, you know,
Mm.
flash forward, it was like a couple years that Chris was working on it before he meets Aaron at Fantastic Festival in Austin. And they once Aaron got involved, that's when like things really started
Took off.
moving with
Yeah.
the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Super exciting. I mean, it was a weird one because I've been watching Chris on YouTube for years because obviously in terms of
Yeah.
horror movie critic stuff, so to see he was making a movie and then to actually see it come to life in the way it did with the Kickstarter campaign was amazing. It was
Yeah.
impressive. Um, I guess was he any different on set to how he is on YouTube? I mean, that's probably a silly question, but still, what was it like? What was it?
No,
I guess what was it like working with him as a first time director?
Chris is such a great director. And I wasn't familiar with his background as a YouTube movie critic.
Mm,
So when I started getting involved, and it kind of, I'm trying to think of like the first time I like even heard that he was like, I just thought he was the director of this movie that I was being cast in. I didn't realize that he had this whole following and so many people that were excited
mm.
about what he was up to. Um, I think just like one of the other cast members were like, "Do you know Chris is kind of a big deal?" And I was like, "What do you mean? He's, I
I'm
guess,
glad it was
directing our
one.
movie."
I'm glad it was one of the other one of the other cast members who said it, and not
Yeah.
Chris himself.
No, Chris is very low key. Chris is very much the guy you see on YouTube. He has this kind of like low octave voice that kind of never like leaves that register. And he's a great director. He's so
Mm.
generous and he was so willing for me and the other actors to play. A lot of the found footage elements of this movie were from the fact that like it was Chris giving me a camcorder and was like, go home, be free, record
Wow.
stuff. And so there's, especially on that website, there's all this like videos that I'm doing in character that I honestly kind of forgot I did until I was looking back at it. I was like, whoa,
How did
like
you find?
there's,
How did you find that? Did you find that like really freeing, or did you find it like a bit of a chore, or did you really enjoy it? Because I guess like there aren't many roles that you take where you get to stay in character for as long as that.
yeah, yeah. And 2020 was a long time. So I've like been with Riley Brennan for a long time. Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, going home with this little camcorder was really fun. It was this, it just felt like such a fun opportunity to play and do something new. And I wasn't really, I was just, it didn't feel like a chore at all. It just kind of felt like a fun opportunity. And Chris is very open to me doing kind of whatever. And so
Yeah.
I was just kind of playing. Like I didn't really and when I gave it back to him, I was like, I did a lot of random stuff. I'm not sure if you're going to want to use any of it, but here you go.
He's used it all.
Yeah, and it was kind of like
Every
a little shocking.
waking
And
second.
there's footage of me and like footage of me from like a high school play I did that's in the movie, which is just so wild.
Oh
And
wow, okay.
there's all
That's
this
cool.
stuff that's I kind of forgot I gave them, and now it's in
Yeah.
a movie. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. I guess that makes it just seem that much more realistic, doesn't it, in a way? You did there is an actress playing you as a young person as well, isn't there?
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. I do have a very like a much younger version because I probably play Riley across at least 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, we had a very talented young actress who played the like like 10-year-old Riley or even like 7-year-old Riley.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Obviously, it's great. Obviously, it's been a long time coming as well because this film did have some festival screening sort of like last year, didn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
So there's been like a journey to the theatrical release
definitely.
of about a year. Um, there have been some minor reshoots as well. Is that correct on some bits?
Yeah. Yeah, so the first time I saw the film was more than a year ago at Fantasia Festival in Montreal. And the news that Neon bought the film came a week before that, where Deadline published the article. And we were supposed to do this whole like festival run last year.
Mm.
The film had got into a bunch of festivals, and Neon was like decided to pull it from those festivals. And yeah, Neon and Chris were kind of talking, and they read an earlier version of Chris's script where there was all these elements that didn't make it into the final film because there wasn't essentially the budget for it. And Neon was like, "Why didn't you do these things that are in your script?" And Chris was like, "We had 20 days to shoot. We
Yeah.
had limited budget. Like even with the Kickstarter being as successful as it is, it was still like a relatively small budget for a horror film." And Neon was like, "Well, what if you had some more and could make the movie that you always wanted to make?" So then yeah, Neon came on board and we went and did reshoots in March this year, which is kind of crazy. And they re-edited the whole film. So it's a very different film from
So
what I saw in
yeah,
Montreal.
so I saw it at Fright Fest in London
Okay.
2024. So it's
Yeah.
almost like I need to just like cleanse my palate and forget about what I
Yeah.
saw and go and watch it again, which to me is great because you always think it's always great to see films you like again. You're like, what would I
Yeah.
do if I could see it again with fresh eyes and I
Yeah.
experience that all again. So super looking forward to checking it out again, of course.
Yeah. No, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. It was really nerve-wracking for me because I was like, "Ooh," because they did some new stuff, especially with my character. And not everything we did in the reshoots ended up in the final film, but there's some elements that are, yeah, that
Mm,
are different. And I don't know, it was like seeing the movie for
yeah.
like brand new once again. It was
What was it
a
like?
new viewing experience.
Yeah, a whole new experience. What was it like returning to the character of Riley Brennan again? I guess a bit of time had probably gone since you last filmed any scenes as her. So was it pretty easy to
Yeah.
slip back into that character?
Yeah, it was really wonderful and bizarre. The final thing I ever shot for this film was also one of the first things I ever shot for this film, because one of the things we reshot
Okay.
was a scene from a different angle. That was one of the first things we did.
Mm.
And and I was supposed to like perfectly recreate what I did 5 years ago, which is just wild.
No pressure.
And no pressure. I know I was like looking at the past footage of me like where I was breathing and trying to just, and it didn't end up in the final film, but it's it was really lovely. And I've gone back to Riley um like it feels like every year we've gone and done something with this film
Oh, okay.
since 2020. So it it didn't feel that strange to go back, and it was really lovely. It was kind of like the family coming back together. It was like a big reunion because
Yeah,
everyone who was on a
imagine so.
set
Yeah.
for the principal photography, which we did 2023 or something. Like we were all on set again. It was much of the same crew, and it just was so nice. It's like
Mm.
really everyone involved in this movie is so wonderful. There's no one I wouldn't want to like hang out and grab a beer with and see
I,
if they
I
were in town or something.
I guess on that point, I was going to say, like, obviously, in terms of your role within the film, I don't want to spoil anything for
Yeah.
anybody, of course. Were
Yeah.
you kept quite separate from a lot of the cast at any point? I guess, for like certain parts of the film.
No, I mean, not intentionally so. I mean, there's
Mm.
some a question Camille and I get. Camille plays my older sister Mia Brennan, and Camille Sullivan, and she's amazing in the movie. And she she and I are playing sisters, but we didn't have a lot of scenes together until
Yeah,
until towards the end of the
that's
film.
actually that was actually my next question. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I guess we were like separated just because of the fact that, I'm missing, she's looking for me. So we don't have scenes together. Um, but definitely through this process, like as the film has come out and all this press has been happening around the film, it's been such a like we've I don't know. I guess I'm like somebody who always kind of looks for mentors around, and
Okay.
especially this is
Yeah,
such a
yeah, yeah.
weird industry, and I really looked up to Camille from the first moment I met her, and she has done such amazing work and has made a living and a life doing this, and that's amazing. And yeah, I kind of immediately glommed on and was like, "Tell me everything you know." And she was like, "Whoa." No, she wasn't. But she was she's just really lovely and
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah.
I'm just looking at the photos now of you guys at the Los Angeles premiere because that was only a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. 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 It was just the beginning of this month.
How was that? I mean, I love your outfit. I love the gloves.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, we were going back and forth on the gloves. They were a final addition, but I feel like they were good because for people who aren't aware, I was wearing like a big white dress
Mm.
and then black lace gloves. And I think the gloves helped make it not look like a bridal thing, which
Oh
I felt
yeah.
was good.
To be fair, if you turned up wearing wearing a wedding dress at the premiere of your film, I'd respect it. I would.
It's kind of a choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you see the movie, there's something there,
There is.
perhaps, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe not. um, but yeah, there was a yeah, the premiere was amazing. I had my best friend from high school, two of my best friends from high school came, my boyfriend came, and my dad came, and it was so fun to
Mm.
like share it with them because it was such a wild ride. And yeah, I felt like real like movie star shit, which is just kind of was fun and crazy. And
It definitely is.
I don't know if I'll ever, I hope I have the opportunity to do that again, but I just feel so grateful that all of this is happening and people are
Mm.
so excited to see this
Oh my God, I'm sure
movie.
you're gonna have
And
plenty of opportunity. Are you
uh,
do you feel like you're gonna stick with the horror genre, or are you feeling like you're not gonna because obviously when you sort of make, not to say you've made your name in this particular film, but I guess would you stick in the horror genre and then move on, or are you feeling like you there are other genres that you prefer?
I'd love to stick around. I'm honestly happy. I mean, as long as the project is, if the character is compelling, I guess I care less about the situations that that character finds herself in. Um, I think for me, it just has more to do with like Riley, someone I immediately sort of was like, I can do this. And I
Mm.
also I love, I mean, being on a horse that is so fun because there's, demons walking around, there's fake blood being thrown around. It's just a fun time. And it's like
Yeah.
everyone is really, it's just, there's kind of a goofy element when you like are behind the scenes of a horror movie, and it's so fun getting to like watch that unfold. Um, like Derek Mears plays a creature of sorts. I won't say much. And he was so wonderful, and like seeing him get like zipped up in a suit is like really wild and fun. And
Yeah.
I would love to like continue being in horror films. I think there's such wonderful people in this genre, and there's such dedicated
Yeah.
fans. And
Oh my God. Well, the
I,
fans really latch on to people,
yeah,
don't they? So if you've been in a film that horror fans enjoy, I think that's it now. You're you're
I
one
would
you're one
love
of them.
that. Yeah. And especially there's such a legacy of like, the final girl or scream queens and of strong female characters within the horror genre, which is
Absolutely. Yeah, of course.
something that, you dream of as an actor. You always want to play a character that is strong
Mm.
and fights. And I think specifically in horror, women have had the the breath as characters to do that much more than in other genres.
Absolutely. Absolutely. totally. I fully agree, and so it should be, of course. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, as I mentioned, the film is being released on the 24th of October. Sorry for getting that wrong at the start, and the 31st of October in the UK. Perfect Halloween date? Are we saying?
I know. I know. Yeah. Get at it. Yeah, it's fun. It's like on the 31st in the UK. That's
That's
wild.
crazy. Very exciting. Well, I can't wait to see it again. I'm going to say see it properly now because I'm going to not to say the first version wasn't proper, but now I'm going to get to experience it, I guess, as it's meant to be seen. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, congratulations again on Shelby Oaks. It's a good time. Well, maybe not for Riley Brennan. Um, yeah,
She goes through it a bit.
she goes through it, but it's a good time, and it's yeah, so it's a great role. And I'm glad you had a great time with the film because audiences
Oh
will
yeah, definitely.
undoubtedly going to have that. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us, Sarah. It's been an absolute
Thank
pleasure chatting
you.
to you. Thanks to everybody for listening. Go to horrorhangout.co.uk for everything in one place. And yeah, go and check out Shelby Oaks when it's released in theaters because you will have a great time, guaranteed. Thanks again, Sarah.
Oh, thank you, Ben. This is so nice.